Hello everybody and welcome back to another video in this course. So here you can see that we are done with animating our camera, and now I'm going to show you how you can use bones and rigging for animating with Blender 2.82. So first thing that I'm going to do, I will get rid of my school and also I will get rid of my plane, and we don't need this one as well. Actually, let's delete everything. So with the Shift and A, I'm going to bring new camera to our scene, and for now I'm going just to move it to the side to about here. And also with the Shift and A, I want to have one simple sun to our scene. So first thing that I want to show you is how you can use rigging for creating animation and how it can be helpful and what is the purpose of it. So first thing, let's go and create, for example, simple cube to our scene. I'm going to switch to solid view. I will scale this down all the way, and I will press S and X to scale it on the X, so we have this long cube. And now I will go in edit mode, and here with Control and there I'm going to add edge loops around, and also I'm going to add also on those sides as well. And above that I will also give one simple subdivision as well, and I will change shading to smooth. So we have something like this. So for example, if we want to break this down and to actually bend this one here, we will need to use rigging or using shape key. So first I'm going to duplicate this, and I will show you both of these, how you can use, and later on we are going to animate with those techniques something else. So first thing that I want to show you is how you can rig models like this and what is rigging. So rigging is basically adding bones to mesh. So with the Shift and A we can go and bring armature to our scene, and basically this is just simple bone. So the first thing that usually you will need to do, you will need to go under viewport display, and here you will select in front. So right now, no matter where you are, you will be always able to see this bone here. And also real quick tip, you can turn on this filter for selection, and as you can see here we are going to disable sun from being selected. So basically this is just simple bone, and you can also rotate it, you can scale it down and move the location as well. So first thing that I'm going to do, I will rotate this for 90 degrees on the Y, and I will move it by pressing G and X to the side. So now I can go in edit mode, and here for example you can go and just move it all the way here. And by the way, you can press right click to subdivide those, and I will do it twice. So right now, as you can see, we have 4 bones here as well. So now if you go in pose mode, so pose mode is used for testing rigging and also testing how your rig is going to behave. So as you can see, this bone is rotating all other bones, this bone is rotating those two in front, and this bone is rotating only this one in the front. By the way, you can also rename all of these bones, and as you can see, the next step is to attach these bones to mesh. So for that we will need weight paintings, and weight painting is adding weight to these bones. So we can go and select both of these, and with Ctrl and P, actually first we will need to select mesh that we want to add bones to it, and after that we will add bones with holding Shift. And now if you press Ctrl and P, you can go and search, for example, set parent with automatic weights. So for example, if you now go in pose mode while you are selected one of the bones, if you go right now in the pose, you can see that actually we can go and bend the whole cube, very simple and very easy. So right now I'm going to switch back to object mode, and I will increase number of subdivision. Also I will add 2 subdivision on the side as well, And now I can go and select my bones back, and here I will be able to bend this bone very simple and very easy, as you can see. Also, there is one more thing that you can change, and that one is bend the bones. So here you can go in object mode. Actually, first I will go in pose mode, and in order to return this to original position you will need to press Alt and R. Actually, let me see, you need to select everything, and here you press Alt and R to reset the rotation of the bones. So now in object mode you can go under viewport display and change the display as B bone. So this B bone means bend the bone, and now if you go under bend the bone you can, for example, increase number of segments. So let's go and switch to 4. Also for this one here, and for the rest as well. So now this bone is bending a little bit better than the previous one, and you can now really simple bend the whole bone. So for example, now how we can animate this, we can go on our first frame, and for example I want the whole thing to be in this pose, and we can just press simply, actually we need to be in pose mode, and here I will reset my rotation, and here I will press I and insert location, rotation and scale. And for example on the 20th frame I want my bone to, let's say, start going up like this. I will select A for selecting the whole everything, and here I will insert another keyframe. And now for example on the 40th frame we can go and return this back. So something like this. And here I will press I for inserting location, rotation and scale. And for example we can go and duplicate the first keyframe. So now you can see what we have here. So as you can see, it's very simple to animate with perfect rigging for your mesh. So this is just a basic rig. For the character you will need a lot to learn. There is a lot of techniques for rigging character, and also it will take a lot of time to explain this in one course. Maybe in the next course we will talk more about rigging. So for now this is just fine for knowing how rig is working and how it's behaving. And by the way, I want to explain you how this weight painting is working. So here I will select both of these, and here if you go under weight painting you can see actually this blue means that there is nothing attached to this bone, and here we have, for example, this is the first bone here, and you can see that red means full control, and those colors are telling us that we have a little bit control on this area here. Also for the second bone, so this area is controlled the most by the second bone, and basically that's the weight painting. And also, for example, you can paint and fix some of the issue if you have. For example, if you want this bone to control a little bit more on the whole, to have a little bit more control on the whole mesh, you can just go and paint it to it and so on. And if you want, you can go under this active tool workspace settings, you can change from the draw to subtract, and here you will be able to remove the whole mesh. Also you can do it manually, so basically you can go, for example, select this first bone here, and if you go in edit mode, for example, you can go and select all of this bone, and now you will assign this bone with this one here, pressing assign. And now if you go back, you can see that we assigned that bone to the other ones as well. So you can see how easy it can be to rig something like this. Usually when it comes to rigging character or animals, it's becoming very difficult and very hard. because you will need to think about how much control you want on each bone, and you will need a lot of more bones than for something like this. Also, there is another way to animate this, and that one is with the shape key. So basically this one is helping us to have different shapes, and we can animate between those. So for example, on our first frame we can press twice plus here on this data properties, object data properties, and for example on this second keyframe we can go and, let's say, I'm going to turn on my X-ray, and I will switch to proportional editing tool, and for example we can go and pull this up and rotate as well. Rotate it here. And here you can see that on our second one we can just manipulate with those values here, and for example we can just go and press here to insert keyframe on our first frame, and on our second frame we want to go and to change its shape on this 20th frame. So now if you play this animation, you can see that is going to the second shape key, which is the shape key that we previously made it. And for example you can go, for example, something like this, and it doesn't matter, it's going just to go and change the shape to it. And for example you can duplicate this to go in original position, but this one is really hard and it's complex, but for something like eye blinking it's going to be helpful. And right now I'm going to show how easy it can be to make eye blinking. So with the Shift and A I'm going to bring UV sphere to our scene. I will change shading to smooth, and I will also rotate it for 90 degrees on the X. So now this point is facing toward us, and right now we can go and add another UV sphere. Now I'm going to select this bottom part. I will delete those vertices by pressing X, and now I can go and press L to select everything linked, and press X to select the whole bottom part. Now I can go and select this up, and for example we can go and actually, let me just go and select this one and change shading to smooth, and also I will add solidify. So now we have a little bit more geometry inside, and here I will also increase the thickness of it. So right now I'm going to go and change my 3D point here to the side, and basically I will go and change my origin point to be origin to the 3D cursor, and now you can go and animate blink by just pressing here I for inserting location, rotation and scale. And for example on the 20th frame we can go and pull this up, as you can see. So now we can go and duplicate this one, rotate it for one. Actually we will need for this one to delete keyframes, and I will rotate this one for 180. So this is our first keyframe, and this one we will need here to insert location, rotation and scale. And let's say for this one here we can go and insert another location, rotation and scale. And actually we will need to move this to the side. So I'm going to go and I will need to fix the issue here. So I will change origin point there, and also I will do the same here. So right now it's right here. I'm going to move it closer, and now I can go and pull it here. So on our first frame, I will do the same here. On our first frame, I'm going to press I for inserting location, rotation and scale. And now for the second one, we can go and insert it here. And here, as you can see, we need to move this to the side, so I'm going to delete those two. And on the 20th frame, I want to be here. And on our first frame, I will rotate it back to about here. So you can see that something like this can be used for making animation for blink. And right now I'm going to delete the whole thing, and with the Shift and C I will return my 3D cursor in the middle. So now I'm going to go and create a simple tree, and here I will disable this from being selected. Also I will keep this one the same. And let's say with the Shift and A I will go and create a new cube to our scene. I will scale this all the way down, and now I will, with the face selection, I can go and, for example, we can go and extrude this down, extrude this up. So very simple tree we are going to make. I'm just pressing E for extruding. Maybe we can go and extrude this one here. And maybe this one, and I'm going to scale this down. So we have our base of 3, and now with the Shift and A we are going to bring new UV to our scene, UV sphere, and now we are going just to go and duplicate this couple of times. So with the Shift and D I'm just duplicating those, and here maybe those are going to be very small, so something like this. Now with the Shift and A we can go and, for example, add some trees, some rocks down. So one here, let's rotate the second one. And also, for example, we can go and add small grass. I'm going to select my cube, switch it here. And here I will just go and scale this all the way down. And I will duplicate this a couple of times. I will rotate it also. So very simple scene, as you can see here. So right now I'm going to add also materials to it. So this one is going to be brown. I'll need to change the color here. So something like this. Now I'm going to go and join all of these together by pressing Ctrl and J. And here I will just go and add base color green. Also I will do the same for those. Ctrl J to join those together. Now I'm going to switch color to be some darker green, and stones are going to be gray. Also this one here. So now I'm going to enable sun from being selected again, and here I will just go and move it to the side, and here I will just go and increase the strength of it. So let's go and make it 3, and now I'm going also to change the color of my plane. So something like this. Now I'm going to switch with my camera to be in front. So let's say to about here. And also I want now to rig the whole tree. So with the Shift and A, I will switch back first to solid view, and now I will join all of these together by pressing Ctrl J. So now we have only one object here, and also before rigging we are going to apply all transforms. So now if you press N, you can see that we have 0 on location, 0 on rotation, and 1 on scale. So now with the Shift and A, let's bring another armature to our scene, and here under viewport display visibility we will need to turn on in front. So it's right here. So I'm going to select this one here, I will extrude it up to about here, and this one here as well, and I want this one to be there, and the second one we can go and extrude it all the way maybe to about here. I think it's going to be fine. As you can see, very simple, just extruding it out. So let's try and see how this bone is working, and that's exactly what we need. So make sure that we have all of these bones connected like it should be, and now we can go and select first mesh, then armature, and with Ctrl P we can attach these bones, and I believe that we will be able now, very simple and easy, to pose the whole tree. As you can see, it's moving around. So for example, let's animate it. So on our first frame I want my bone, my rig to be here, and for example on the 20th frame I want this one to go up here, and for example something like this. I'll press I for inserting location, rotation and scale, and for example on the 40th frame it goes back. So also I will decrease the number of keyframes. And now for example we can go and simply just go and add two UV spheres to represent eyes. I'm going to change shading by pressing right click, not on the tree but on the UV sphere. So here I'm going to go and right now I can go and hide armature, and now I'm going to duplicate those two together. I will join them, and here I will apply this black material to it, and now I will press Ctrl and J, and also I will need to attach those two. So now we can go in weight painting, and to fix this we will need to go under armature, and here we will need to add this middle bone. So this one is here, and now in edit mode we can just press assign while we are having our eye selected. So now if you go in object mode back, now you can see that it's following that bone there. So right now I'm going to go and try to find a good position for my camera. I'm going to go and move my sun to the side. I will rotate it. here, for example, you can go and change the color of it. So let's hide this. And you can see very simple character is made for around 5 minutes, and we have really cool results that we can share with our friends and so on. So now we can go and render the whole scene out. So I will go and change this one to fourth animation. I will just change the name. I will keep everything the same. And here I can go and press render and render animation, and our rendering is going to begin. So that's it about this video. Stay tuned, because in the next video we are going to work a little bit more with the particle system, and I will show you how you can use it for creating animation. So see you there.